Hey, what's up, guys? Liqueur here, Bboy Spirit, Soul Hydraulics Crew, Madison, Wisconsin. Um, Question was, is why? What is this dance to me? So, what this dance is to me, hip hop breaking, is it's a healing art, a movement art, a visual art. It is a way that I regulate my mind, body, and my spirit. Um, So yeah, that's what it is to me. It has many layers. It's something that saved my life. I feel like if I wouldn't have had breaking or hip hop growing up, um, yeah, I would be a totally different person. So it gave me a place to release my energy, my hyperactive disorders. It helped me to regulate those sort of things. Um, So yeah, it means a lot to me to have movement and dance in my life. And I started dancing when I was, gosh, I guess it would have been 8 years old. I mean, I like to think I probably was trying to dance, out the womb, because I grew up in a family that we were, we like to dance. Black families put on the music. I was born in the 70s, so it was always about some music. Commodores, Earth, Wind and Fire, Stevie Wonder, you name it. Put that on and we were going to be dancing and having a good time. So I started dancing in 82, evolved a little bit 84, around that sort of second wave of breaking. Was becoming very popular and on almost every TV show, national and local. Um, and then I was just, why do I dance the style that I dance? So I came into hip hop and breaking, more so breaking. It wasn't really necessarily called hip hop at that point, but I came into it, and everyone was breaking. At least my friends and family was breaking. We rolled off of that 70s, early 80s Michael Jackson when he was starting to bring locking, into some of his stuff, or popping and locking from the stuff that he was learning. Into it, and he just had a larger platform to present it. So we saw some of hip hop and locking and popping through Michael. Um, so, um, so the style that I danced was breaking, which was what kind of in a way I feel chose me. And then over time, years went by, I just started to move how I wanted to move. A lot of times it will come out as breaking, and then more recent it's come out as whatever the energy or the vibe is at that time. So I dance my style, I guess it would be, or freestyle, because it is just the way that I express myself, and it's a blessing to just be able to connect and feel free enough to be able to just express myself and it come out as a hip hop dance or breaking or that sort of thing. So I couldn't really put a finger on my style. Obviously, when you watch it, you probably see more breaking and that sort of thing. But I do love popping, and I do love to try to lock and mix it up, crump a little bit and whatnot. So yeah, that's my sort of thing. Why I do it is just because that's how I express myself and that's who I am. And it's affected and had an impact on the local community here, I would say, in ways, because I was at the time a little bit older cat that was still breaking, which back then 26 was old, 27, 28 or whatever was older for a breaker, for a b-boy, at that time, was in the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s. And we started doing events in the community, hip hop revival, soul sessions, and having different battles and that sort of thing. And those things led up and built up a community that led up to bigger events like Breaking the Law, which became more international, and that sort of thing. Big ups to Man of God and Katrina for coming through to my classes and coming through to our workshops and that sort of thing, and supporting our events, and then getting those fundamentals to be able to do something like Breaking the Law. So big up to that. So that built a community movement as well. So I feel like and me just doing my regular classes, helping get the university breakdance club going and that sort of thing was something that helped sustain, I feel like, breaking in all styles dance or whatever now, and kept it, going in the community up until this point. So that's how I feel like it's affected the community. We see it in schools a little bit more. I spent a lot of time in elementary schools, going around to different elementary schools for pretty regular for a few years, several years, doing that and presenting it to different schools, MSCR and things like that, as a viable after-school program sort of thing. So I feel like that's one of the ways that I've helped the community in that way. And also doing the events, it gives people a feeling or something to feel connected to, and that sort of thing. So, and then residual impact is it's been something that still comes up in conversation, hip hop revival, soul sessions, and that sort of thing. So it's cool to have that vibe going and have it still be affecting the community in that way, and trying to create different movements in that way as well. So some of my inspirations in doing this, if I go all the way back, to the common Nicholas Brothers, Sammy Davis Jr., and from those eras, James Brown, later, and Michael Jackson, of course, Prince, even watching, to hit that split. Everybody's trying to hit the James Brown split, the James Brown boot scoop, that sort of thing, and watching Nicholas Brothers do their thing, and they were straight b-boys, really. So seeing that when I was young, was super inspiring. I also got inspiration from that back in that time, watching old gymnasts like Charles Lakes, like one of the first black gymnasts to be a national and international gymnast. So I used to watch cats like that. I got inspired by watching Bruce Lee, of course, kung fu movies, Jet Li, Donnie Yen, cats like that, man. I watched these dudes, man, and I wanted to do those movements, and it just came out in our form, came out as breaking. So also martial arts really inspired me as well. That was probably the first movement I did, just to throw that in there, was Southern style kung fu. So it gave me that sense in my mind that I could do any breaking type stuff. So that was one or some inspirations, and then more recent in the '80s. Obviously, Rocksteady Crew was very inspirational. Seeing that major battle on TV back in the day, Beat Street, the movie Breakin, Wild Style, all inspirations. Some of the younger crews that are around here, from Motion Disorders, coming out later, and different crews like that were inspiration. Seeing young cats that were into it and wanting to keep this sort of energy going. So that was inspiring as well. Some of my crew members, Renee, Turbo, Knight, definitely were inspirations for me as well to keep me motivated. My brothers, my nephews, all that, man. There's so many inspirations. I couldn't put my finger on one specific inspiration. I get inspired by people who express their souls. So I'm inspired by that. So inspired by my daughter, my wife, this sort of thing. So lots of inspirations. And to continue that on, I would just say, hey, let's keep building this community. Let's keep it strong. Let's keep the knowledge of this movement, art, strong. And coming from individuals like us who have had some history in it, who have put time into it, who have blood, sweat, and tears into this movement, this hip hop movement, breaking, specifically for me. I would say, keep it alive. It has foundation. Get your curriculums together and this sort of thing, and keep spreading that love. Reach out to the elders as we get older. For even if it's just the stories, for some things as well. Keep moving your bodies. Do the mind. Keep your mind, focused. Let it be something that heals us as a community and as a culture. and stay inspired. That's about it, y'all. Peace, many blessings. B-Boy Spirit here. Y'all stay well, stay healthy. We'll see you on the other side.